Well, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, for those who do not know what AI CERTs stand for, AI CERTs offers role-based AI and blockchain certifications. Our purpose is to promote the values of lifelong learning. We help companies build a smarter workforce, adapt to change, and drive growth. Our mission is to certify 1 billion people. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our webinar titled The Future of Ethical Hacking AI as an Ally in Cyber Defense. I'm Rohini Shah, your host today. We are privileged to have Sheikh Rashid with us, a prominent figure in the world of ethical hacking. With over 13 years of experience and credentials such as Microsoft Certified Trainer and EC Council Certified Instructor, Sheikh Rashid is well equipped to guide us through today's topic. And I'm eagerly waiting to learn and hear from you, Rashid. Today, we will delve into the exciting ways AI is shaping the future of cybersecurity. Please feel free to submit your questions through the chat feature as we progress, and we will address them all during our Q&A session at the end. Now, let's welcome Sheikh Rashid to the stage. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to have you here again, Rashid. Over to
All
you.
right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Rohini. Thank you very much. I hope my screen is visible. I'm audible. Everything looks good.
Absolutely. Good to go. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. It is pleasure to be here with you all today. So as everyone knows that the landscape of threat is continuously evolving. So we being ethical hackers, we know how important is it for us to understand what are the various techniques we use when it comes to defending those cyber threats. So this is our topic for the day, the future of ethical hacking, AI as an ally in cyber defense. My name is Sheikh Rashid Javed. So let's get started with our today's agenda. So we're going to understand the key role of AI in cyber defense. Then we will see a kind of a paper which is from Sophos, which talks about what AI is doing in cybersecurity. Then we're going to see how AI is going to accelerate your security defenses, another research from IBM. Then we'll see artificial intelligence enable cyber defense, which is from EDA Europe. We'll see AI in cybersecurity. What are the top 6 use cases from TechMagic? Then we'll see the role of AI in cybersecurity, a comprehensive guide on AI in cybersecurity from EC Council. Then we'll see a checkpoint report which talks about AI cybersecurity. Then from Morgan Stanley, we'll see AI and cybersecurity, a new era. And then we'll see a little bit what Microsoft talks about AI. So AI, it is everywhere. Now, being ethical hackers, I have almost spent last 10 years. I'm also certified. I did version, I think V8. Now we have V13. So V8, V9, V10, V11. Now we have the latest one, V13, which talks more about AI. So this is the reason I'm going to talk a little bit, based on whatever experience I have gained so far. I'm going to share that with you all. So when we talk about the key role of AI in cyber defense, so AI can analyze a large amount of data to identify potential vulnerabilities and threats. So this was one of the main reasons that why what is the benefit of going with AI, because we have a lot of vulnerabilities, we have a lot of threats. We used to use a lot of tools like Nessus. We used to use maybe GFI LandGuard or OpenVAS, Nikto, Nexpose, Sant. A lot of tools are there in the market. Then we do threat hunting, we do threat modeling, we do threat research, but there used to be a lot of data. We used to have SIEM, then we give this data to SOAR. Now we are trying to integrate AI in dealing with those threats and vulnerabilities. So this is one of the benefit, because AI can analyze a large amount of data to identify potential vulnerabilities and threats. And AI can automate threat detection, analysis, and mitigation. So when it comes to threats, we are being more proactive. Earlier, we have been more reactive. So whenever a threat comes in our network or any virus, our antivirus gives us an alert, we used to react, but we are being more proactive. We are trying to understand if this threat is going to affect someone's network. Let's assume WannaCry attack. Am I prepared to defend my network against this attack? So it more talks about threat detection, analysis, and mitigation. But now AI is going to bring a lot of automation. AI can predict where and how an organization is most likely to be breached. Now we are getting that report. You might have heard about IOA, IOC, indicators of compromise, what happened in the past, what is happening in the present. But when it comes to IOA, indicator of attack, what's going to happen in the future. So AI is going to help you with the prediction where and how organizations most likely to be breached. Now let's understand you have that report which talks about future. That's what you need. So AI can provide you an automated recommendations and analysis and automate routine tasks. There's a lot of things you guys do or we guys do, when it comes to penetration testing, ethical hacking, forensic investigation, disaster recovery, cyber incidents. We do a lot of log analysis. We do a lot of scanning, but now AI is going to help us to automate that. AI can analyze the content and context of an email. Now this is very important because earlier, if you remember, we used to find a lot of spam. Those were real mails, but because of some false positives were there. So this is the reason we have analyzed Microsoft, Google, Gmail. A lot of those organizations, they already started using AI in their emails. Now there is less of those false positives, false negatives. So whatever report it generates, this is going to improve with time. You might have heard about, algorithms which are learning. So this is the benefit. Now this is a report from, if you see Sophos. Now you guys know they're doing a very good job, very nice, work in security when it comes to Sophos. So they, if you know, there's a paper, there's a research from them. Even you can find this from the link, which says that as AI algorithms analyze a massive amount of data to detect patterns that are indicative of a cyber threat. So this is very important, massive amount of data. Now this was the problem we have. We don't have enough humans. Even if we have enough humans to deal with those threats, but we want to utilize them to do more productive work. We don't want them to spend time dealing with something which is not that much important. So this is the reason why we need AI, or what's the benefit of AI. It's going to analyze massive amount of data to detect patterns that are indicative of a cyber threat, something which is potential cyber threat. They can detect unusual behavior and restrict unauthorized access to the systems. So it's more about behavioral analytics. It's more about suspected behavior. If you find something is unusual, you need to have a baseline. This is what AI systems are going to help us with. If they find something is unusual, they're going to send some sort of alert. They can serve as an engine for security automation. So automation is very important when it comes to security. AI can and already does help humans by analyzing a very large amount of data, recognizing patterns, and creating insights based on large volume of security data. Now there's a thought, people think that AI is going to replace humans, but if we think positively, they are going to create a lot of jobs for humans. Now this is the reason I think why Microsoft gave the name of their tool as Copilot, because it is not a pilot, it's still Copilot. You need to tell this what to do, so you're going to work along with the AI. Sorry. So you're a Copilot, because still if you see there is there's still, we have not reached up to the stage where they apply the logic, where they can think like what humans do. Like, so this is the only reason that there's a lot of misconception that AI is going to replace humans, but they are also going to create a lot of jobs for the humans. So that is the reason you're being co-pilots. You tell them what to do. You, once you have prompt the chat GPT, it's going to give you the response. Based on that, you're going to tell it what I need. Because before AI, security professionals, they used signature based detection. But what happened? Attackers are becoming more smart. They used to change the signature. Now this is the reason we are doing behavioral or anomaly analytics, because attackers keep on changing the signature. So modern attacks, if you see, this is the only reason. If attackers can use AI techniques to do the attack, now we defenders also need to learn AI to detect those attacks, to respond to those attacks. Because you might have heard, an iron can only cut an iron. So this is the only reason why we need to keep ourselves updated, because attackers are getting more smarter. They're using AI. So as per this paper, the three top benefits of using AI-driven cybersecurity tools are quickly analyzing large amount of data. This is one of the benefits. Is going to help detect anomalies and vulnerabilities. Is also going to help automate the repetitive process. Now, we defenders are a little bit worried, because if you see the benefits of ChatGPT, Copilot, or any of those tools, Bard and all that, Gemini or Gemini, but I've not used those tools that much. But when it comes to Copilot and ChatGPT, so we get a lot of good response, but there's also bad things. You can ask it, hey, can you give me a code? I want to attack someone's network. It gives you all the script. You don't need to learn Python. It gives you a script. You just copy and paste it. So this is the reason we need to, update ourselves. So there's another research from IBM. You can find a link here. IBM Security provides transformative AI-powered solutions that optimize analyst time by accelerating AI threat detection, mitigation. They expand response. They protect user identity and database while keeping cybersecurity teams in a loop and charged. So this is very important. Now, when it comes to investigation, incident handling. There are some proper steps you need to go through. Whether it is preparation, whether it is containment, whether it's analysis, whether it's detection, whether it is education, whether it is lessons learned plan. So it is going to help you to automate. AI is going to help you to automate all of those steps. So the benefits, it protect the data across the hybrid cloud environment. Now we are on cloud, and there is also one thought that AI maybe things were already there, because you might have heard when there was a Turing test, or when there was some other research. I was so surprised to see that it already happened 50 years back. That at that time they thought there's a technology which is going to come, and that's going to be AI. Now, what are the reasons? Because I think nowadays we have a lot of technologies, let's say cloud. This is the reason AI is getting a lot of importance, because you might have seen a lot of those tools now, a lot of examples like selfless cars and all that, sorry, or driverless cars, self-driving cars, you can say, right? Or you might have seen AI in medical, robots doing the surgery. Or you might have seen chat gpt, which brought a revolution. I think they needed more of storage and all that, which cloud provided. This is the reason it started all of a sudden, at a boom. You heard, AI is doing a lot of nice things. Like you might have heard about creating some fake image and all that, deep fake and all that. But these are the benefits: generating more accurate and prioritized threat, balance user needs and security. So these are some of the tools. There's the IBM threat detection response. So all these tools, they use AI, whether it's AI Guardian, whether it's QRadar. I guess most of you might have used any of those tools from IBM, whether it's verifying the identity, whether it's mask, if it is this dealing with those devices. You have some sort of where you control those, bring your own devices, MDM or MM solutions. Or you have some managed detection response services, your trustier, which talks about trusting those identities. Or there's a Watson. So I have gone through a lot of research papers where they always talk about IBM's Watson, which is very nice, when it comes to governance and all. So out of those tools, I guess most of you might have used any of those tools. So they're doing very nice when it comes to using the AI. So all of those solutions from Microsoft are using AI to make things better. So I've already used Curadar. I have used Mass 360. I have also used a little bit about threat detection response. And these are the tools which are used almost everywhere, and they are going to use AI. Okay, so this was from IBM. And the research paper or another article is from EDA Europe, and this says that deep learning can be used to perform predictive analytics. Now they have taken the example of self-driving cars, where you might have heard, Tesla, they're doing a lot of research, or maybe other companies, where a lot of cars they drive, understanding the environment, they just predict. There's a lot of learning, and they become experts. And what happens, all of a sudden, they are going to find the route by tracing or by learning. Now sometimes accidents also happen. That happens also with the humans. But I think when it comes to AI, it gets more pointed. Otherwise, if you have heard, there's some accident which happened, but it gets more highlighted. So mainly it is because the kind of data which you give to AI is very important. So it is going to learn from the data which you provide. So whatever, if you think people are blaming something happened because of AI, it was because the data was poisoned, or the data given to the AI was not up to the mark. So it started giving you the prediction based on whatever data you give to the AI. Like our kids, you teach them, And there are a lot of things they pick up from other, their friends or schools. We cannot blame them. It's the environment. So as a parent, you did your best. So sometimes you can also give wrong data, right? Or it can happen I have seen a lot of times people don't have quality data. This is the reason where they push that data to the AI, and whatever result you're getting is based on the data. So they're giving the example of future implications of quantum computing or high processing. Now, the reason I was saying that cloud computing has made things very easy for AI, now quantum computing is going to make it more easier, where you have high processing computers. So it's going to make things more easier. Facebook, now this is an example where Facebook recently abandoned an AI experiment after chatbots invented their own language, which was not understood by the humans. So this recently happened, that they just got out of control. It can happen. You never know about the future, right? But the only thing is that there are a lot of attacks which happen, like data poisoning and all that, which we'll discuss. But computer machines have demonstrated better skills than humans in playing chess and poker. You might have heard recently there was an AI which defeated a human in a chess game. So this is more about something which we were not expecting. On the other hand, the rise of AI-enabled cyber attacks is expected to cause an increase of sophisticated cyber threats. Ongoing and future research activities should be explored in countering complex cyber threats. Now, there are a lot of misuses of the AI, where people have misused AI to do something which is not good, because you can understand the power of AI. It cannot be used only for the good thing, it can be also used for the bad thing. This is the reason why our heads, or presidents or prime ministers, they talk about using it properly. The way you use YouTube, it can be used for a good purpose, it can be also used to learn some bad things. Then there's other report which is from 𝐘𝐈, which says the recognition of AI's potential has led to 76% of enterprise to prioritize AI and machine learning in their IT budget. With connected device, project is generated as almost 79 zettabytes of data by 2025. So a lot of data which will be difficult for the humans to understand. This is where you need more of algorithms. Now you might have mega, giga, peta, exa, tera, zeta. So it's like a lot of data. So these are some use cases. They have already seen that AI is used in threat detection and prevention, because for threats, you need to detect them, you need to prevent them. It's also used for user and behavior analytics. So when it comes to UEBA, you look in for something which is malicious. And based on that, you're going to suspect is something bad or not. Advanced threat response and mitigation. Vulnerability assessment or management, because when it comes to threats, when it comes to vulnerabilities, it's very important that we try to block as much as possible to reduce the attack surface. It's not possible to complete, reduce everything. You cannot make it zero, but attackers are very smart, right? So you cannot make it zero, but you reduce it up to the tolerable, whatever is your risk tolerance. So you stop them before they become threats, or before they, lead to some risk. That's why you have vulnerability analysis, you have, threat management. So what they do, they're going to use AI to analyze the vulnerabilities, to analyze the data, to find the weaknesses, to find the potential threats, to send an alert, or to respond to them automatically. So that's why you have security operations and automation, where you have people, with those big screens, they will watch all the critical infrastructure. AI is going to help a lot. Threat intelligence and prediction. So it mainly is going to help you with the threat intelligence, threat hunting, or you can talk about threat modeling. So AI is already being used to deal with a lot of those threats. Now, another research which we have from EC Council. You guys might know about EC Council, which are doing very great job when it comes to ethical hacking. Now they have made a new course, CHV13, which has more of AI in it. So as per them, there are three fundamental mechanisms to tackle complex security problems. One is the pattern insight. AI excels at recognizing and classifying data patterns that may be challenging for humans to analyze. So it presents those patterns to security professionals for further examination and analysis. This is where you are working as a co-pilot. Actionable recommendation. Intelligent agents offer actionable recommendations based on the identified pattern, providing security professionals with guidance on appropriate measures. That is what is needed. It's not you, it is not me, but AI says it's going to be you and me. We're going to work together. Some intelligent agents can take direct action on behalf of security professionals to address and rectify security issues. This is what is needed. Now, how cybersecurity benefits from AI? So it is going to help you to create IT asset inventory. You need to have an asset management. You need an inventory, because if you find rogue devices, you need to know what belongs to you. It helps you with threat exposure, how many threats you are exposed to, and what are the various controls and how effective they will be. Because a lot of times you get confused on what control to choose. The AI is going to help us with that. To breach risk prediction, how much risk is going to be and what needs more priority. When it comes to incident response, how to deal with it automatically. Lot of transparent solutions. Now, why solutions need to be transparent? Because you need to know what's happening. There should be nothing hidden. You need to know what's happening. This is very important. When it comes to data, let's assume it's customers' data. They want to know what happens to their data. So these solutions are going to be very transparent. Okay, so there's another report which is from Checkpoint. So which is the advantage, which talks about advantage of AI in security. They talk about, you can do the automation of repetitive tasks. You can improve your threat detection and response. You can enhance the situational awareness, and which helps you with the decision making. So those are the benefits. What are the challenges? Yes, when it comes to using the AI, there are a lot of challenge. Like there's lack of transparency and interpretability. So that means you might not know it properly. You need to first understand what is the objective. System has to be very transparent. It has to be it should be it should be compatible with your existing infrastructure. Bias and fairness is always there. I've seen a lot of people blaming the AI, saying that it already happened. An AI system was able to do a bias between male and female, between black and white, but it happened because of some data which was given to it, and it was analyzed on that way. The way in that company, maybe when it comes to selecting the males or females, maybe in that company they used to select males, and they give that data to the AI, and that's why it start doing the biasing. Yes, it happens. This is where you need to continuously teach your systems. They need to do continuous learning from the data, and you need to check those things. Integrate with existing security systems is very important. You might be having IDS, IPS, firewall, SIEM, source. You need to make it sure it works with your existing tools. Use cases, it is helping endpoint security, network security, cloud security, and fraud detection. This is very important. When it comes to your endpoints, they need a security. When it comes to networks, they need a security. Your application needs security. Your operating system needs security. Cloud, now every organization has connect to cloud. Fraud detection is very important, so it helps you with all that. So what are the best practices? You need to have a strategy, which is very important. Make sure that data quality and privacy. This is the only reason why you're spending a lot of time, because data quality is going to decide a lot of other things. Because quality is bad, if quality is not appropriate, it's going to bring in a lot of those biasing and all that. For that, you need to make it sure that the quality is good. Build an ethical framework for AI use. There should be a proper framework. I know there are less of frameworks, because we have seen a lot of times that people can misuse the AI. This is the reason we are just starting up to use a lot of frameworks. But there's some existing frameworks like GDPR, which you can already use when it comes to privacy. And it's very important you do the testing and updating of AI models. So what is the future? This paper talks about the advancement in AI and machine learning. It is going to integrate with other emerging technologies like quantum computing and all that. And impact on security industry and job market is going to be very huge when we have AI-based solutions. Then there's another research from Morgan Stanley, which says there are some key takeaways. Cyber criminals are using AI to carry out a variety of sophisticated attacks, from data poisoning to deepfakes. Cybersecurity organizations also increase rely on AI to help flag suspicious data and detect or stop those attacks. To help keep your data safe, review your current cybersecurity protection, make sure it follows the best practices. Now, these are the key takeaways. When it comes to deepfakes, data poisoning, it already happened. Now, it might be okay for us, but sometimes let's assume someone calls you pretending to be a relative asking for money, and you transfer the money, but later you come to know that your relative never called you. So those things can also happen. So how hackers can abuse AI? They can do some social engineering schemes where they create the social engineering attacks in such a way that it looks something which is genuine. They can do password hacking. I was very much surprised to see that even brute force attack used to be taking a lot of time, because that's the only attack you might have seen dictionary attacks, hash injections, or maybe some other techniques. But when it comes to brute force, We know it used to take a lot of time, but now AI, they're making it a lot easier. Deepfakes, creating those fake, someone's fake, videos, audios, photos, and all that, or data poisoning, which already happened, where attackers were able to do the data poisoning, and the result was very bad. Now there's another research which is from Microsoft. This is the last one, and then we'll see some relevant certifications. So as per Microsoft, how does AI for cybersecurity work? AI for cybersecurity works by evaluating massive amount of data across multiple sources to identify patterns of activity across organization, like when, where people sign in, traffic volumes, and the device cloud apps. So Microsoft is using very nicely the concept of AI, because when it comes to data, dealing with those threats, when it comes to Office 365, how it's going to use maybe, co-pilots and all that. So nicely, it's going to make use of those, if there's a risky sign in, maybe you try to use Tor browser, or maybe you use a weak password, it just generates an alert. So they already use this in identity access management, in the Microsoft Azure Active Directory, endpoint security management, cloud security, threat detection, information protection, instant handling and response. So benefits: detects critical cyber threats faster, identifies vulnerabilities, provides cyber threats analysis and insights, simplifies your reporting, helps analysts grow their skills. So what are some of the tools? They have next generation firewalls which use AI. They have enhanced endpoint security solutions. They have AI based network intrusion detection and prevention systems, AI and cloud security solutions, securing IoTs. So these are some of the solutions, which they already have been using, or it's already being used: XDR and SIEM. Best practices: you also need to have a strategy. You need to manage data privacy and quality. This is very important. You need to use AI ethically, because a lot of times, we need to also look into, if you have maybe some considerations like GDPR around that. You need to integrate your security tools. You need to do continuously testing. You need to define policies. So if I've seen a lot of those research papers. I've seen a lot of those kind of articles which talk about the similar strategies we got to follow here. All right, so now what are the relevant certifications? Now, if it comes to AI certs, we have AI plus security level 1, which is available. Then you have AI plus security level 2, then AI plus security compliance, and there's also AI plus ethical hacker. So for ethical hackers, you might be doing your courses from EC Council, but along with that, if I just show you from this link, so there are also some AI based certifications. When you go to certifications in the AI certs, you might be finding the certifications as per your convenience or relevant to you, but these are the ones which are available right now, and you can look in at the overview and all that. So that's it about the certifications, and that's it. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening to me. I try to summarize. I know time is limited, but I try to just give an overview what is happening in AI, because there's a lot to see, but there are a lot of organizations are already using AI in their tools. It's very important for us to keep ourselves updated with AI relevant certifications, because I recently did some 3-4 certifications on AI. Otherwise, my core was network security and cloud, but now it's very, because I did almost 35 plus certifications with CompTIA, with EC Council, with Microsoft, with ISACA, with PCB and all that. But I think it's very important to know more about those AI certifications which are relevant to security. The reason being that we don't want the AI to replace us. That's why it's very important to keep ourselves updated. So thank you. Thanks for listening to me.
Thank you for the insightful presentation yet again, Sheikh Rashid, helping our
Thank you.
viewers understand how AI can help in ethical hacking, case studies for the trends. It was definitely a very, very interactive and educative session held by you. Now let's
Hmm.
move on to the Q&A session. If you're okay, we have received some
Yeah.
great questions from our audience.
Okay.
So, question one to you would be, how can AI enhance the capabilities of ethical hackers in identifying vulnerabilities? I know you have touched upon this. Maybe you want to kind of deep dive a little bit. Y-
Yes,
y-
yes. Thanks. How AI is going to help us as ethical hackers. So, being an ethical hacker, as I said, I started with CHV, I think 8 or 9 or maybe 7. I'm not sure, but it has been long back when I started. But it's very important, because if you see all of those research papers I was talking about, if you see how it's going to help us as an ethical hackers. So there are a lot of things it can do for us. For example, if you see automated scanning and testing. So when it comes to scanning, vulnerability scanning or penetration testing, that's very important part of, when you work as a security analyst, because you might be doing penetration testing, you might be doing vulnerability analysis. We call it VAPT. So it is going to do a lot of automation. I was surprised to see there is a tool. So let me first share it. Just one second. It will make more sense if I just share this tool here with
Yeah,
all of
I'm
you.
sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. So here, if you see, I have some tools. I have using some tools. Now I was able to see there's a White Rabbit Neo, and this is one of the nice tool. It says here, if you see, for red team and blue team, and I was seen. I even used this tool to launch an attack. What I did is if it comes to doing an penetration testing, there are a lot of steps. For example, I use Nmap. It gives me a prompt. I just copied that prompt, gave to this tool. It's telling me that this is what you got to do. This is a script you need to write. So it's more about, when it comes to automation and scanning, you have a lot of these tools. It also helps you with the threat intelligence, which we have seen, in a lot of those papers when we talk about threat intelligence. So there'll be an enhancement, when it comes to threat intelligence, because we'll be using more of automation, what is needed, because there are a lot of threats. It might also help you with doing the analysis of the data, because if you see, you need to analyze data with intelligence. It's going to help you with, when you use AI algorithms, there's a lot of data where you give it to the AI algorithm. So it is going to help you to enhance that. It's going to help you with predictive analysis. So there's something which is very important for us, is the predictive analysis, where you need to predict what's going to happen. So AI is going to help us with that. Or decision making, it's going to there'll be a lot of improvement when it comes to decision making. Or automated, when it comes to automated simulation, or when you simulate those attacks. This is as an ethical hacker, you'll be simulating a lot of those attacks, cyber attacks. So it's going to help you with a lot of those simulations. Or maybe continuous learning, because when it comes to learning, you need to keep yourselves updated. So you can go to ChatGPT, just give it a prompt, it's going to give you all that what you need. So these are some of the ways you can use it as an ethical hacker.
Amazing. I think we have another question which says, what are some ethical considerations when implementing AI in cybersecurity measures?
Yes, ethical considerations. Again, if we see here, there were a lot of times, a lot of papers here. So let me share it again here. So if you see here, all of those research papers, what I have gone through, so they mainly talk about ethical considerations. Like, in one paper, I was talking about more about, when it comes to ethics and all that, when it comes to the best practices and all that. So privacy is very important, because you are collecting someone's personally identifiable information. So you need to make it sure that what if they follow the GDPR? So this is where it's, privacy concern would be there. Or we have already seen some sort of biasness, fairness or biasing would also be there. So biasing is a man concern, but it all depends on what kind of data you're giving to the algorithm. Still there might be biasing, data bias would be there always. And then transparency, it has to be, transparency would be there. So systems have to be more transparent, but there could be some transparency issues also. And who is, when it comes to accountability, who is to be accountable? Because ultimately there was a lot of confusion when you give prompt to chat gpt, it just pulls out a lot of data, right? So what if it's someone's patent or something, when it comes to accountability? After all, if you say, like, it is done by me, but after all, who is accountable, who has actually created that? Those things would always be there. And you should not dependent too much on the AI. This is also one of the concerns, but the reason being that, let's assume I am just searching for something. Okay, what if I just copy and paste all that? Unless until it says that you can modify. If you see at the end, when you just get a prompt, it says you can modify it as per a requirement. So there has to be more customization. We should not, heavily dependent on the AI. So, or maybe, AI getting misused. So there are some, these are some considerations what I have seen, ethical considerations.
Excellent. I think it was a very nice explanation. I hope
Thank you.
the person who's asked has benefited from this. So we
Hmm.
have come to an end of today's session, Rashid, and I'd like to extend my gratitude for your expertise and insights on this critical topic. And thank you everyone who participated and submitted your questions. We hope you found this discussion valuable and informative. If you have any questions or would like to learn more, feel free to reach out. I have dropped the email address on the chat box. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at our future events and webinars. Have a great evening. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Rashid.
Thanks, Rohini.